My Hero Academia, 10 anime villains Overhaul would work with. Overhaul might have been one of the most formidable villains in the My Hero Academia series, but he wasn't above making powerful allies. Overhaul was one of the strongest antagonists of the My Hero Academia universe. Not only was his ability to kill adversaries in a single touch profoundly formidable, but he also led the Yakuza organization until his arrest at the hands of Japan's finest professional heroes. Throughout his criminal career, Overhaul has made an effort to expand his operations to include some of the nation's most notorious criminals such as the League of Villains. By identifying the anime characters he would work with, we can better appreciate what qualities he looks for in potential allies. 10. Overhaul would appreciate Sale's scientific prowess obsession with perfection bleach. Sale was easily the most intelligent member of the Espada. As a man of science, he was responsible for the lion's share of Hueco Mundo's technological advancements. The villain's obsession with perfection drove him in his studies, a quality that Overhaul would admire. While Sale has proven to be somewhat treacherous by his willingness to assist Neutra against Neliel, Overhaul would still be willing to take a risk with him based on how he collaborated with the League of Villains even after their disastrous feud. 9. Overhaul reached out to Shigaraki before My Hero Academia. Tamura Shigaraki was the leader of the League of Villains and Overhaul's largest source of competition. After All for One fell, he offered his decaying counterpart a place in his organization. However, Shigaraki was not content with the concept of being someone's subordinate, leading to an altercation between the two factions. Nonetheless, Overhaul's offer of peace remained after he left the League's hideout, and he even gave them his card. Toga and Twice lived in his compound as tokens of good faith, but were secretly there to spy on him. 8. Kenny Ackerman would appreciate Overhaul's approach to Crime Attack on Titan. Kenny Ackerman's primary incentives were entertainment and power. He served Rod Rice under the presumption that he might steal the founding Titan once the time was right. Given that Overhaul dabbles in quirk deprival and restoration, it may have been possible for him to give Kenny a power of his own, should he prove a reliable asset. When combined with his formidable skills as a warrior and ODM user, this would inspire him to remain in the Yakuza's service for as long as is necessary. 7. Dr. Stylish shares Overhaul's amorality scientific prowess Akame Ga Kill. Dr. Stylish was the Empire's most skilled researcher and respected scientific authority. His extensive knowledge about Imperial arms would be of great use to Overhaul, as combining quirks with superpowered equipment would create terrifyingly powerful henchmen. Moreover, Stylish's human experiments and amorality suggest that he wouldn't have a problem with Overhaul's less scrupulous endeavors like torturing Eri in order to perfect quirk negation drugs. He's even handy in a fight under the correct circumstances, as proven when he transformed into a massive monster in his final confrontation with Night Raid. 6. Silva Zoldyck would collaborate with Overhaul so long as he was paid Hunter x Hunter. As the head of the Zoldyck household, Silva embodies all aspects of a perfect mercenary. He is driven, competent, and willing to carry out an assignment regardless of moral implications. This entails he would make an ideal ally for Overhaul given that he does not ask questions. Overhaul's only complication is coming up with enough money to pay him. Should his drug-selling business have launched successfully, he would have ample coffers to compensate Silva for his protection. 5. Doflamingo runs operations similar to Overhaul's own One Piece. Doflamingo and Overhaul run somewhat similar operations. The former helps to facilitate the production and shipment of illegal devil fruits, while the latter was working to give or take away quirks with specialized bullets. Additionally, Both men have a small army of loyal followers whom they have impressed through charisma, strength, and sometimes violence. Given their commonalities, Doflamingo and Overhaul would respect each other's work and collaborate. Their partnership would be largely uneventful since neither character is prone to betraying their comrades. 4. Kabuto shares Overhaul's insatiable appetite for knowledge. Naruto. Kabuto shares Overhaul's insatiable appetite for knowledge, as illustrated through his rigorous studies after Orochimaru's presumed death. Considering the implications of the Yakuza villain's bullets against shinobi, he would immediately be intrigued by him and agree to a partnership. His willingness to work with others was proven and he approached Obito and asked to join forces. Given that Kabuto isn't afraid to request help when it's appropriate and that Overhaul's organization is also in desperate need of strength, the negotiations leading up to their partnership would be short. 3. Kyosuke wouldn't care whom Overhaul kills so long as it benefits him. Death Note. Kyosuke was the leader of the clandestine Yatsoba organization and a man more than content to take innocent life. This was proven through his collaboration with Kira, where he fulfilled his killing quota so long as he could use the notebook to eradicate business rivals. Subsequently, Kyosuke wouldn't have any qualms with giving Overhaul necessary funding for his research so long as his minions assassinated his enemies. Given how high-profile the Yakuza can sometimes be, such as the Blade villain's attack on Kirishima, Overhaul would agree to his new partner's terms readily. 2. Assault's obsession with purity plays into Overhaul's brand Fire Force. Assault was a member of the White Clad who was notoriously obsessed with purity. He rigorously trained in order to expunge himself of all carnal desires, particularly so that he could finally fight and kill Tamaki. His single-minded devotion to a clean world would make him a fitting ally for Overhaul's mission, as both criminals have similar ideas regarding society. Moreover, his ignition ability has direct offensive utility that would greatly assist the Yakuza's support-based lineup in ranged and melee encounters. 1. Vicious is a classic criminal whom Overhaul would respect. Cowboy Bebop. One of Overhaul's biggest grievances with hero society is that the Yakuza fell behind in a superpowered world. He yearned for the days where villains could achieve greatness without resorting to their quirks. Considering that Vicious is able to massacre a room of armed enemies with his sword alone, he would immediately impress Overhaul as a potential subordinate. The Yakuza leader would only need to be mindful of his new companion's treacherous nature, as Vicious prefers to lead whatever organization he is a member of.